All right, Believe Nation, last live of the day. We're making it happen. I'm setting up. Let's see. Let's put it in here. Ask us your questions. Ask us your questions. We put it in. We're going to pin it. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Pin it. Okay. Where's Jeremy? There he is. Bringing him in. Booya. Okay. So the dealio here is... Oh, we're waiting for Jeremy. Here he comes. So I am playing League of Legends. My goal is to get the gold this season. I'm almost in silver. We're grinding our way up. We've done three. It's our third live stream today. Every game is a live stream as well. It's a Q&A show. I'm playing my game. Jeremy Sticking the House is my co-host. He's reading your questions. He's answering them. I'm answering them. We'll move on to the next one. I'm going to update my record here. So Jeremy is now, hold on. Jeremy is now 4-1.
There we go.
That's a win rate.
There we go.
Mark's got some work to do. To catch up. Anyway, all right. We had a question from the last stream that we didn't finish up, so we'll do that first and then get in. So what do we got?
So paraphrasing. A woman was asking, she's a baby boomer, and she's wondering what the best platforms are to use to grow an email list, but she's very beginner when it comes to technology. So in terms of best platforms, maybe I'm biased because YouTube, YouTube consulting, but YouTube is the game. It's so much better than every other platform out there. It takes the longest to build, yes, definitely, but just putting out content that people you solve the problem in people's life and you start to form. You just keep putting out content. It's going to be hard, of course, but you just keep putting out videos weekly. Growing that subscriber base and then pulling people into an email list by telling them in the video, link down below. In terms of platform, I think that would be the best way, YouTube. Short term, maybe Instagram, but long term, YouTube for sure. Just because it's so organic and it grows. The content you're putting out today will grow 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. But in terms of if you're trying to build an email list, I would actually look in your circle of people who maybe already have an email list, if you know anyone, or if you can connect with anyone and offer any value, and then maybe they promote within their email list to your email list. Maybe that could be a clever way to skip the whole process of building out a social media and pulling from an existing email list where someone already has it. You find a way to deliver value for them. They send out an email to their list, supporting your email list. But for platform, I would say YouTube, long term. But maybe you have different thoughts, Evan.
My team got banned again, so I'm going to go back to the other champion that I've never won on, except tonight when I won with Jeremy. So let's see what happens. One, it depends on your time frame, and two, it depends on your audience. So who are you trying to reach? So that makes it a little bit easier. YouTube is a great default answer because YouTube is everybody. Like everybody's on YouTube looking for content. So that's definitely an easy pick to go after. The danger with YouTube is sometimes it could take so long, especially if you're doing it yourself and you don't have someone like Jeremy helping you, that you quit and you give up before you build content, before you get people on your list, before you turn into a business that actually makes sense. So that would be the one caveat that I'd be kind of concerned about. But yeah, otherwise making content every day, popping videos up, having some kind of call to action for them to get a bonus off of your website if they sign up for the list. And I like Jeremy's idea about partnering up with people too to get access. That's the fastest way to do it. Just find people who already have a list and work with them to get your content out. I use that example when I'm talking to authors. Like if you have a book, like my book came out yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Nina's yelling by the book. My book came out yesterday. So if I'm trying to promote, there it is. There's his copy. Here's my copy. Jeremy, you got the advanced. You were like the beta group. You got to read it and give feedback on it. Yes. Very messy handwriting. He's got to work on that. One of the hardest to read. Jesus. So if I'm trying to promote my book, like right now, YouTube is not going to help me much. But if I'm an author and I've got 5 more books in me, YouTube is probably the best place I need to be. So you have to think on a longer cycle. If I just launched my book yesterday and I now start my brand new YouTube channel, I'm probably not going to get many sales off my book in the immediate future. My fastest bet is to find people who have YouTube channels, who have big influence on different platforms, give them the book and ask them to share, right? What often happens is people get so locked up in the promotion mode that they never build anything for themselves. You're constantly stuck in like, this is what I need to sell right now, this is what I need to sell right now, that they're never actually investing into their brand to be able to build up a quality email list. So it's usually parallel paths. Whatever you need to sell right now, you're doing it through partnerships and increasing awareness that way. And you're building up your own content factory, ideally through YouTube, but could be other platforms, to help you build a sustainable source of traffic to then fill your email list and then buy your products and services.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully she rejoined the chat because I didn't see her. But
all right.
But hopefully. All right. Another question.
Get your questions in. We'll answer them. Try to
Yep.
bring some value.
All right. I'm gonna graduate school soon, so I want to ask you. I'm in the business mood, so do you think I should study entrepreneurship?
I'm in the business mood. I like it.
Study entrepreneurship or study business in college. Okay, so in the business mood, that is kind of alarming. In the business mood, right there.
I like it. I like it in the
It's
business mood.
like if you're in the mood because you want to make money and if it's ulterior, are you actually curious about it? Because if you're really curious about business, don't have a mood, because mood swings are always changing rapidly. But if you're really curious about business, then yeah, you should definitely study it. Whether or not you go to college for it or go and start a business, that's entirely up to you. I mean, like, learning business in college, from my own experience, complete waste of time.
Did you go to college?
I did 2 years, yeah.
Okay. And then did you drop out, or it was only a 2-year program?
I finished 2 years, yeah. I didn't even go to graduation, though. It was so
what did you study?
Hotel and restaurant management business.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was college. It was university.
Yeah, college.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to college to learn I didn't need college. I read a $20 book from Robert Herjavec, Shark Tank guy, on business.
Wait. What happened before that, Jeremy?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I watched the Top 10 Rules to Success on Robert Herjavec.
That's the whole story, guys. Unbelievable.
And I went into a bookstore, picked up that $20 book, learned more in business on that book from someone who's teaching business, making money in business, very successful, than going to college for business where, no offense to teachers, they're great people, but they're not really making money at business. They're teaching business. So maybe I'm biased, but I don't know. It depends on if you feel like you really got to go to college, then by all means go. Make sure you're not taking on huge student loans or anything like that. But or maybe you start acquiring self-education for yourself, reading these books, reading these business books, and start a business and try and build momentum little by little, make money there.
So I think if you're going to be an entrepreneur or have aspirations to do it, college, university is a good backup plan. You're not going to learn a whole bunch about being an entrepreneur from textbooks. It's kind of like reading how to do squats. Like, you have to go off and do it. Or reading how to be a soccer player, you have to get out on the field and train and do it. But if you don't know, like, I went to college. I went to university. I'm University of Toronto. I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. It's also kind of a different culture. I'm 39 right now, so 20 years ago it's slightly different. I don't regret going. It was a good backup plan. Like, if my business didn't work out, I have something to go to. There aren't many decent jobs that would hire people with just a high school diploma. So you have to really know that you want to be an entrepreneur, or at least give yourself a year, right? Like, say, I'm going to take a year off to try this thing. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, I can go back and do my schooling. If you're going to try to get the most, like, if you're going to go to university or college, I say, how do I get the most out of this experience? I try to hack my experience as much as possible. So what does that mean? I would look up all the alumni of that university and try to, people who, like, you look up to and you might want to learn from, who might be a potential mentor for you, and say, hey, I'm a student at your school where you came from, and I'm really curious about business. I'd love to grab a coffee and pick your brain. You know, if you come from the same college that they went to, they're much more likely to say yes. More than if you just try to hit them up with a cold email and they have no idea who you are, right? So that's an opportunity you can get from your college experience that you wouldn't get anywhere else. I would look at if I'm starting the company, any media opportunities I could get. Like, can I get on the college or university website? Can I be in the college or university podcast or radio show? Can I pitch my business to local, morning shows, TV shows, radio shows? Because people love a good story coming out of the university. So I'd be looking at how do I use the advantages of being on campus to help me build my business. One of the things I did in university, which I didn't know if it was even possible until like my last year, I'm so pissed off, was you can make your own course. So in my last year, I went to my marketing professor and said, hey, I have my business. I'm really trying to figure out pricing. And he was doing all this stuff on pricing right now. It's like, can I self-study under you and make my own course on pricing? And he said yes. And so there's no exams, there's no papers. He just decides what course you get, like what grade you get, right? And you're nice and you do some work, and they're going to give you a good mark. I had to meet him once every 2 weeks for like half an hour or 20 minutes in his office, and we talked about pricing strategies for my business that I needed to know anyway, right? It's like, great, I got free coaching and consulting, and I got an easy A for doing almost nothing, right? So I would try to find that like out of freshman year, like as soon as possible. If that was even a remote possibility, I would start doing that ASAP. And then the last thing I did at Hack University was I had a software company, and we sold some of our software. We sold to academics. So I'd be looking at, is there any way that the university could be a customer, right? So like if Jeremy's doing YouTube consulting, I'd look at, does university have a YouTube channel? Do they need help? Will they hire me? Like that's how, right? And I went and I was able to talk to the university professors who were my customers now. And I wouldn't have gotten in the door if I wasn't actually at the school, right? So if you're going to go, people razz on, there's a lot of hate towards universities. And I mean, rightly so. I think if you know you want to be an entrepreneur for sure, you're not going to get much out of a university education. But if you're not sure, it's a good testing environment. And if you're going to go anyway, use it to the best of all the resources they have available to you. Most people never use university resources, so do it.
If you're going to go, connect with people. Maybe not right now, but with the virus going on, but connect with people if you go to university. Because, man, I was such a loner. I didn't connect with anyone, but establishing relationships is probably the last thing universities are really good for these days. To learn, establishing connections. It'll take you so much further.
Yeah, and the easiest way to do that is to join clubs that you're interested in, right? Like, I started dancing because I went to U of T dance club, or I don't know if it's salsa or ballroom. I think it was ballroom dance club, the first one. And that got me hooked on dancing, and now I own the largest dance school for salsa in maybe North America.
Yeah. And if you're just going for a piece of paper, I gotta add to this. If you're going to a piece of paper, you're not gonna make it. I'm sorry. Like, just going for the piece of paper. Today's society is changing so much, and there's so many more companies coming out today.
Yeah, it still depends what you're going into, Jeremy.
No, like,
if you're going to be a doctor, Jeremy,
okay, yes, of course.
You need the piece of paper. If you're going to be a lawyer or an accountant, you need the piece of paper. It depends what you want to do.
Yeah, by law. If you're required by law in the profession that you're really interested, not your parents make you go into it, not that you feel society is pressuring you to go into what you want to do. If you want to become a doctor, lawyer, engineer, great. But like for most people, going to 4 years and trying to get a piece of paper to think that you can then get a successful job, it's just not happening today. Like, there's so many more companies, Netflix, Starbucks, Apple, Google, that are hiring without degrees because they're looking for drive, passion, curiosity, hustle. So if you go to these companies, find someone higher up, try and get in the door, work for them for free for 30 days or 60 days, deliver so much value, and then potentially they hire you full time could also be another great method. And go to 15 different companies, try it, and maybe one will say yes. So that's what
I think you still grossly underestimate the market. I think
No.
if you want to have a job, you can list off some companies. Most companies would still rather that you go to university.
Yeah, but like revolutionary companies, I don't know.
Yeah, but most jobs, like
No,
you look at, you want to get a job at a university. It's awesome. Maybe you want to get to. It's like saying getting out of high school. I want to go to Harvard. Awesome. You might get in, but most of the colleges, universities are not Harvard.
Yeah.
So awesome. You want to work at Google. You may not get the job at Google, and then you're stuck without a degree. Right. So
yeah, but even like, so example, I went to hotel and restaurant management for 2 years.
Yeah.
Hilton, a hotel that requires no degree. If I went in the door, if it was something I really want to do, I just took it for the sake of peer pressure because everyone else was doing something, which I feel most people do. That's why they go to university.
Yeah.
I could have just gone to Hilton and just went up to them, or Marriott or any of these companies, and said, listen, I'll work for you for free for 60 days.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Marriott and Hilton are not hiring you for 60 days.
Yeah.
No way.
Someone in the company, if I did that with 20 different hotels, I could have found someone for sure.
No.
For sure.
No.
Okay, agree to disagree on that.
That's not their process. I mean, you could do that with you could do that with an entrepreneurial company. Hilton and Marriott are not hiring you for free.
They don't hire with degrees anymore. They don't.
No, I get that. No. Okay, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're trying to be a business analyst at Marriott without a degree,
no, in business without a degree. Like, so I'm not saying working at Hilton as like a maid or someone, a bellhop or anything like that. No, I'm saying like the business aspect of it requires no degree anymore. So, agree. We'll just agree to disagree on that.
They are not hiring you for free. There's no way. There's no way.
I don't know. I think you're underestimating it.
No. You are massively overestimating it. An entrepreneurial company, maybe. An established company, like, there's no way.
Evan, I have belief. All right, here. We'll go to a question because it's been a while. I've got 3 possible business directions to go in. 2 are related and could feed each other. It's overwhelming to be thinking about both, and I feel like I'm not making progress. Where do I start? Well, if you already have 3 possible business directions, I mean, that's a great problem to have because you actually have positions that you're interested in and that maybe potentially hiring you. From your profile pic, you look young, so
Wow. Okay. Great.
So like this is the time, in your 20s, so a similar position to me. This would be the time to taste things, right? Experience stuff. So if you try out a business direction and see whether or not you enjoy it. And if it doesn't work out, then you go take a different direction. It's not the end of the world. You have time. So I would go down the avenue that, yes, leads to more opportunities that you feel is the best shot, but what is also going to be the most interesting to you to learn, to acquire skills within that direction you take. I wouldn't be thinking about, what will produce the most money or anything like that. I mean, those are great perks, but what are you most interested in that will propel your life forward long term? And maybe you pivot later on down the road because, you have time. You're not in your 60s, 70s or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I would do.
I would look to merge them. You'll likely have your best success taking those 2-3 things that you think are totally different and then find a way to make them combine in a way that nobody's done it before. Because if you're doing one of those things, you're always going to, 1, feel like something else is missing. You're always going to be pulled into the direction of doing that other thing. And 2, there's going to be somebody who loves doing just that thing, and they're going to be better than you at it. So then there's always going to be, the lowest price, which is not where you want to be. So even looking at Jeremy, what he's doing, and helping people build their YouTube channels, he's focused on thought leadership. He's focused on people who want to be experts at something and sharing a message. And that comes from him loving that stuff, right? I mean, he loves reading and he loves learning and he loves watching top 10 videos. And so there's tons of YouTube channels. Why doesn't he focus on kids channels or prank channels or social experiments or all this other stuff. Everybody on his list, everybody in his client roster is a thought leader in their own respective industry. So it's combining multiple things that Jeremy loves together. You can get other YouTube consultants, but you're not going to get, well, one, you're not going to get the guy with all the experience that Evan Carmichael trained. But two, if and this is what I'll say too, if I'm helping somebody, it's like for thought leadership, there's nobody better. Like if you're making thought leadership videos, there's nobody better. Other stuff, maybe. I don't know how to do a kid's vlog. I mean, the ideas behind it will still be the same. It still matters what your click-through rate is. It still matters what your duration on the videos are, your retention, all that stuff still matters. But I can't help you as much. I don't even care as much. Like I don't want to help build a kid's channel, right? So combining the things that you see as separate and making them into one thing is where you're going to likely get the biggest payoff.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nice. Here we go, guys. Another question. What opportunities, Evan, are you looking for to seize during this uncertain time if they've missed the other two IG Lives? Well, these right now opportunities you should be looking for are to invest in yourself when everyone is being lazy, like we've talked about if you haven't joined the other IG Lives, to develop skills, to pick up those dusty books, to really seize opportunities where everyone is kind of slacking and you should be pushing forward, like you said earlier, Evan. Those are the biggest. And really, when everyone else is fearful, you should be greedy, acquiring, building momentum, while everyone is isolating and pulling themselves inward and watching Netflix 24/7. Even though it's tempting, what could you be doing while everyone else is kind of on hold, on pause right now?
This is your time to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Use this time as your opportunity, as opposed to the time where you're going to just slack off and take it easy. Use this. This is the time that you can use to build the life that you want to build. Don't worry about what opportunity I'm seizing. What opportunity are you going to seize? That's what I care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The amount of reading, business stuff, and even just trying to get like clients, like taking breaks now because they're slowing down, but trying to build momentum even for myself. It's just, yeah.
But why are your clients slowing down? Your clients should be pushing hard.
No, I know, but I have to tell them that.
Yeah, but that's it. Like this is the time. You want to win. Yeah. You want to beat everyone.
I know.
Well, all of your competitors are sitting there saying, "I can't film without my camera guy in my studio." And go win, win. This is the time.
Well, especially while everyone's hunkering down and watching YouTube. That's crazy. So turn the negative into the positive. There's always a way.
Let's
There's always
go.
a way. All right, here's someone. I'm trying to build a brand, kind of e-commerce store, but still ain't making progress. What do you think I should do? Well, I would look at why you're failing and why you haven't built the momentum you've been looking for, and learn from the parts of what are you getting wrong? Why isn't it working so far? And look at the people who have already built successful e-commerce stores and try to pull the aspects that you're not acquiring in your e-commerce store to make it successful, to start building progress, because maybe you're just not doing the research behind why you're failing, why aren't you building that momentum, and learning from successful people who've already done what you're trying to do. So you shouldn't be fumbling your way through and trying to figure it on your own. Learn from successful people who've already built these e-commerce stores. What are your thoughts?
I would talk to everybody who's bought from you. I would try to see, I mean, as long as you've had somebody, right? Like hopefully somebody's bought and you're not at $0. It might be a different story, but if somebody has bought from you in the past year, I would try to get on the phone and talk to them and say, listen, I'm trying to do this. Why did you buy from me? How was your experience? How can I do better? Start to actually get some feedback from customers to help you improve. I love the idea of constantly learning and modeling success and finding videos of people who've done it. And if there's any programs out there or videos, I would definitely have like e-commerce success as a as a hashtag that I'm following, or like a search term I'm following on YouTube to see videos of people that are posting and what I can learn from them. But I think also just being able to talk to customers who bought from you, and most importantly, like, what did they not like? Like, how can I get better? Where did I suck? And getting that feedback so you can continue to make yourself better.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting how we always, like, and I'm not just saying this guy or woman, whoever asked this, we all do it where we just feel like it's a mystery as to why we're not succeeding in what we're doing, when, like, there is no mystery behind it. That the knowledge is out there of why we're failing. We're just not bothering to seek it.
Yeah, so if you have any email addresses, I would write to say, I would be honest, like, hey, like, if Jeremy struggled at the beginning of his business and he didn't have anybody guiding him, and he promised something and then, like, lost his first client and lost his next client or whatever, like, so he's just, like, sucking everywhere, I would send an email to say, hey, listen, you know, I apologize if I let you down. I really want to make this business happen, and I'm struggling. I'd love to get your feedback on what you think I could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the worst case. Those are people who aren't happy, right? If it's somebody who was happy, just never came back, you get feedback from your customers on what you can do better. So yes, learning, yes, digesting information, yes, consuming other people's content and trying to get better and model success and all of it. Plus, if you already have a business and you already have some customers, talk to them. They're a source of wisdom for you.
Mm-hmm. Nuggets of gold.
Nuggets of gold.
Nuggets of gold. All right, here we go. Can you benefit from the coronavirus spread to make some money? I'll paraphrase Rockefeller. When there's blood in the streets, there's money to be made. So yeah, whenever everyone is fearful, times of uncertainty like now, it's not ideal, of course, but that's when you can profit and benefit the most, whether it's investing, if you have that skill set, or it's really doubling down on your own business, and start putting stuff. Maybe you start marketing more, or maybe you really just double down on putting in more work when everyone is slacking off. There's tons of money to be made, more so I think personally, in these kinds of areas than when everything is prospering and everyone is doing well. Times like these when you can really get ahead. You just need to put in the time, put in the effort, and if you don't have a skill set or something, maybe it's time to acquire that skill set of whatever you're interested in, while everyone is on the couch trying to figure out what to do and watching the news 24/7.
Yeah, I think a big thing that most people miss in this is they're just looking for opportunities, and then it dries up, and then you're just jumping on to the next opportunity, and you never actually build anything meaningful. So you could, I think, within your thing, like, find something that you love and you're excited, you're passionate about, and then within that, try to think, how can I use this as an opportunity to maximize what I'm great at? So for me, what am I doing today? I'm making videos, right? I'm making content. For everybody else, all the other thought leaders you see them on Instagram, they're doing IG lives because they're taking advantage of the opportunities in front of them. Marion, who has been a co-host on this channel as well, he is focused on helping people build online businesses. It's a great opportunity for him to say, hey, your business has slowed down. Look at how your business suffers when you don't have gigs. Like, you shouldn't just be a speaker relying on speaking gigs. You should have an e-course and set that up. So instead of where most people try to go is think about things like, oh, I should start selling masks. I should start selling hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
You go to, like, things that you know zero about. You're probably already too late if you want to get into that business. You're gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff and then end up with a basement full of junk that you're never gonna use. Right? This is how most people end up thinking. So think about within your thing. What are you great at, right? Where do you want to be? You know, even TDS, the dance business, right? We're making online videos now, right? It's like the worst possible business to be in, turn it into an opportunity. So I think that's better thinking than just what's a quick short-term buck that I can make from flipping hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Well, especially with investing too. People trying to put their money, time the stock market or anything like that. Like, where could you better put that money if you don't know anything about investing?
Oh yeah, people are going to lose. So many beginner investors are going to lose so much money.
Yeah.
Now's the time to buy. So they're gonna put all their money in some airline stock that tanked, and then they're gonna
Like it ends up going into bankruptcy.
yeah. Because you don't know
Yeah.
anything about what you're doing. Like the
Mhm.
people who don't know, who don't have the experience, always lose.
Yeah. Unless you're making it, you're curious about investing, don't bother.
Yeah.
Put
What do you
it
want to
in
be great at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How's the game going, by the way?
We're pretty even. We're even right now. It's a tight game. It's close.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll hold out.
this is gonna be rough. I'm ahead. I'm doing well, but my team is slightly behind. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Hello. How to be motivated and escape from procrastination. So I honestly, I think I'm probably one of the laziest people on earth. Like, it's so bad too. Well, it used to be really bad. Not so anymore. But the thing that really started to get me motivated and to stop procrastinating was the moment I became super curious in certain areas that I really felt like I could learn and actually dive into to have a prosperous life for myself down the road. That's what I was looking for. So I was super curious, willing to learn for the first time in my life, probably around like 19, 20 was when I actually started finding things I actually cared about and gave a shit about. But the moment I became curious, learning became fun. Guess what? So those skill sets I wanted to acquire and things, that was the motivation I needed. But the procrastination, what really kicked it in gear was having accountability metrics in place from other people, like my family, Evan, other people that I really looked up to, where it's like they're investing this time, or I've spent time with these people, or I've made people believe in me, like my parents, for example, where there is no turning back. And whenever you feel down, you use that as fuel for yourself, where you know others are accountable, and you have to show up for them. You have to show up for Timo, his dog right there.
You wanted love. You wanted love. Timo, I gotta play right now, my guy. Okay. Oh.
So that's how I escape procrastination. Extreme accountability to others when I don't want to do it, but I know other people are counting on me.
I don't like that as an answer.
No?
Nah. Because you can't just, and at least for me, you can't just rely on other people to always hold you accountable. You gotta have yourself to a standard. You gotta create a new standard for yourself.
But there's some days where it's like most of the time I know I can do it myself, but there are some days where I know like I'm so lazy, I'm not motivated. But the thing that gets me through is that I know, like impact theory, Tom, he calls it the dark side, where you do have external factors. You've never heard that?
No, but that's not okay. External factors, sure, but that's not accountability. Those are all the people who told him that he wasn't going to win.
Well, I also think that when you use accountability and external and showing others that you will make it, that the belief they've instilled in you, I think that is part of the dark side. I think that is part. You don't want to live there where you're always showing people like, oh, I have to show you that your belief wasn't for nothing, because you don't want to live there 24/7. But it is great for those days when I just don't want to get out of bed. It's what's fueled me. Let's hear this genius answer, shall we?
So even if you are going to do that, it's in micro moments. Like it's not a great solution because you just said you don't want to live there. But if you're going to accept that you're just a naturally lazy person and the only thing that gets you through is accountability to other people, that's not living there in micro moments. That's making it kind of the base level.
Well, that's only like 20% of the time, though. It's like when I really need to overcome that procrastination. 85% of the time, I'm solid. I'm good to go. I'm curious as heck to develop my skill set. But there's that 15-20% where you're just unsure of the next steps and where you want to take your life. But man, those times, oh.
Okay, so first off, I say nobody is an extremely lazy person. If anybody is saying that, I would immediately start to eliminate that language from my life. You're not lazy. You're not a born procrastinator. If you're procrastinating, it's for one of two things. One, you don't want to do the thing that's in front of you. Jeremy didn't want to go to college for hotel, whatever. So he's going to procrastinate. I would too. Dude, stick me in a hotel management class? Holy Christ. I do the bare minimum that I need to do.
We had to wear uniforms too.
Oh,
awesome.
I would hate my life. Like, I would be the worst. I would procrastinate to the last second because I hate it, right? So chances are, if you procrastinate a lot, you don't actually want to be doing the thing that's in front of you. So welcome to being a human. The other option is you're actually afraid of doing the thing. You think you have the ability to do it, but you're worried that it's not going to work out, that you're going to fail, that you're going to be judged. You know, like me going and speaking at Brendan Burchard's thing, right? It's like, I didn't write back the email right away. It's like, oh my God, how do I fix this? How do I do this? You even making my videos today, I want it to be my best videos I've ever done. But before I go live, I'm going to procrastinate. Now, I don't live in procrastination, right? It's like 5 minutes of procrastination, not 5 years of procrastination. But still, if you are not moving forward, if you procrastinate, it's because you're afraid or you don't want to do it. So understand the source and then fix it. If you don't want to do it, then long-term you can't be there, right? I mean, if you have some commitment either to yourself or to your family or whatever that you want to finish it, like Jeremy chose to finish his degree for whatever reason, awesome, right? But long-term, you can't stay in that thing. If Jeremy stayed in hotel and whatever management, he would hate his life.
I would hate my life.
Yeah, he would hate his life. So you can't stay there long-term. And you know that if you're procrastinating.
It is important to note, like, within every job, there's just certain aspects you hate, like, or you don't get pleasure from it. So it is also, you have to be careful about, like, when someone encounters a piece of a job that they don't like, then they might say, oh, well, you know, I guess I don't want to do it. Like, I guess it's just not for me.
Sure, but net, it has to be worth it.
Yeah, net.
There's part of every day that I hate. Every day I'm doing something that I don't want to be doing, but you have to do. Like, it's part of being an entrepreneur. But overall, I love what I'm doing. You have to love what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
the overall, do you think the overall mission is the thing you have to really love, and the day-to-day, like 80-20?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be able to see hope for you to get out of it. I'll do anything in the short term. Awesome. You could do anything if you see hope. If you think that you're stuck doing this thing forever and ever and ever, like, you're gonna end up hating it.
Right.
Like when you're doing the emails to people and like manually 300 emails or whatever, it's like you would like procrastinating your face off on that stuff.
Oh yeah, that was brutal. That's so brutal.
But if you then thought that the only way that you would build your business is to send out those emails every day, you would really second guess doing the business.
I would still do it.
But compared to, like, there's other paths. This is a short-term thing. Then I'm just gonna get through and do it, and that's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in times like now. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to do a lot that you don't want to do, but it's short term. Like, if it's long term, you're gonna get tired of the business and want to move on. But there's stuff every day that's gonna be short term that you have to do. It's just different stuff. If it's the same stuff every day, then you're looking to give it to somebody else. Delegate, eliminate, automate, delegate. Get out of your face. You can focus on more important things.
Right.
We're winning this game hardcore, dude. This game is we're almost done. Yeah.
Here we go. If you
Jeremy,
want to get
Jeremy's
the
like a
silver,
left turn. Oh, we just won! We just
There you
won!
go.
They surrendered. Oh!
there you go.
Jeremy gets the 3-0. That's the first 3-0 day that we've had. Wow. The 3-0 perfect day.
That's what makes a successful day.
So Jeremy is now 5-1.
There we go.
Mark
I
is
like
2-0. Jeremy's 5-1. And Alex and Marion are 1-2. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a fast night too. We got it all.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm in my promotions now to get to silver.
There you go.
So if I win 2 out of the next 4 games, I get to go to silver. So that means Marion tomorrow has got to be on the ball That's pretty tight. That's
No,
stressful.
He'll choke it. He'll choke.
He'll choke it.
Yeah.
Wow. The lack of confidence in Marion.
Don't get me wrong.
Ladies
I
and
love,
gentlemen.
I love Marion, but
I love Marion, but did you hear it? You heard it here. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for the love.
No
3
problem.
IG Lives up and down. Everybody watching, we'll be back on tomorrow. And if you have extra questions for Jeremy, go find him at Jeremy.Stickney.
Yep.
Jeremy.Stickney. Have you posted your YouTube content yet on Instagram?
No, I have them in the bag.
It's
In the
Corona
back of my
time.
phone.
We got to make it happen, Jeremy.
I know. I want you to look at them first, though.
So send me something.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right.
I'll Google Drive it.
Okay. Have fun.
All right.
Thank you for the love, everybody. Believe.
Take care, guys.